Hi there, I'm Sean Fleming, head golf professional out at the Cascades, here with your golf tip of the week. Today we're going to talk a little bit about club selection and strategy when we're close to the green and choosing our short game shot. So I hope this helps, and here we go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk today about is using the contours of the green to our advantage. Most of the time people start their line of aim at the target, which would be the hole, and then they adjust from there. Sometimes that works, and sometimes that's going to let the slope take our ball away from the pin, whereas if we use the contours and actually use more slope, we can get closer to the pin and generally have a better chance of making our par putt. So I'm going to hit a couple of shots here and show you real quick. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to aim pretty close to the pin. This is obviously going to break to the right for me, but I'm going to kind of take as minimal amount of break as possible on this, and we'll see how I do. Two things about that. Number one, I'm using a very lofted wedge. I've got a 58. Very hard to keep the ball from going below the hole. Very hard to hit at the proper distance. Now I got pretty lucky on that one and hit the right distance, but it could have ended up a lot worse. And either way, I didn't stand a chance of keeping it up at the hole. It's going to fall below, and I don't really have much choice about that. So instead, what I'd like to see is people hit it a little bit further away from the hole to the top of whatever hill you're at, and that way we can use the entire contour of the green to our advantage. We'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna hit one more. That was a terrible shot, right? I didn't hit that very well. But the contour of the green fed the ball, so I gained a lot of distance and I got it closer to the hole with a bad swing than I would have if I'd gone straight at the pin. So let's see if I can hit a better shot this time. So once again, it still wasn't an excellent shot, but I'm closer than the first one, which was actually the best shot I struck. So both of those shots were marginal, but I've got an uphill putt straight at the hole just because I used the green to get my ball closer. So sometimes gravity can be our friend, so don't be afraid to hit it higher on the slope and let the contour of the green help you out. So the next thing we're going to talk about is club selection. We've got a little shot here just up a hill. And one of the things that I see a lot of amateurs do is use a lofted wedge far too often around the green, 56, 58, 60 degree. And that requires an extreme amount of accuracy on how far I hit the ball. It requires me to predict how much spin, is it going to roll and release, is it going to check up. So there's a high probability of not making my par putt because unless I hit my shot perfectly, I'm not really sure where it's going to go. So I'm going to hit one with my sand wedge, which is a 58 degree, and kind of show you how that looks and just how hard it is to get it precise. Now that wasn't a bad shot, but in actuality, I hit that just a little bit fat, which helped keep it a little bit low and it ran out. So that's a case of hitting a bad shot and having it work out from your favor. Which goes to prove my point that using a lofted wedge isn't the most reliable shot in our bag. So I'm going to hit one with a 50 degree. I'd like to see people use a pitching wedge or maybe a gap wedge. 50 degree is my gap wedge. So this one I can hit on the green and let it roll like a putt. It's a little easier, higher margin of success. So I was able to take a smaller swing, a little more reliable contact, and use the contours to our advantage like we talked about in the first hint. Last shot I'm going to hit is what's known as a bump and run. So I've got an 8-iron here, which lets me take even a smaller swing and let the ball roll even further. Easier shot to make contact with, more predictable, going to be a higher chance of success. So the 8-iron, I don't even need to hit it as far as the green. I'm going to hit it onto the fringe here and just let it roll. Now that shot's extremely easy to hit because it's such a small swing. It's basically just a putt with an 8-iron. So try to experiment with a few different clubs, get the ball on the ground, get it rolling. I think it'll help you make more pars. So the last tip today is going to concern the false fronts. We've got quite a few holes here at the Cascades where the fairway slopes dramatically down from the front of the green towards the fairway. So that means a lot of our approach shots are going to come up short, leaves us with an awkward shot. Today, nobody gave the pin setter a cup of coffee this morning. He was a little bit grumpy, so we got a tough pin today on this hole. So a couple of different things. First of all, same as before, let's get away from that lofted wedge. I've got my 58 again here, and not the easiest shot. Now most of us think since I don't have much green to roll with, I need to fly it really high and stop it really fast. That's certainly one tactic we can use, but it requires the most skill and the most practice. So unless you've got time to practice your short game, it might not be the decision best for you. So we'll hit one a little bit lofted. And that right there is precisely what we don't want to use, a lofted wedge. It's hard to get perfect contact on a slope. It's hard to predict your ball flight perfectly. It's hard to predict where your ball is going to go, which is not a good thing in golf. So that was a 58 degree. So we're going to go ahead and use a 50 degree this time. Hit it a little bit lower. I'm basically going to hit this one into the top of the hill, hope it bounces over and releases. So a little easier shot because I'm taking a smaller swing, but still quite a bit of gamble. Once again, it's an aggressive swing. I hit it well. Hard to predict how much it's going to fly. So let's get back to the theory of getting the ball on the ground and getting it rolling. So we're going to hit an 8-iron again like we did on the last shot. A little bump and run. Should be pretty easy to get this one up the green. So I don't have to fly this very far, only a few feet, and it's going to roll all the way up there. Now obviously I hit the other ball, but everybody can see it had plenty of speed to get to the hole. Wasn't going to go too far past. That would have been a pretty reasonable par putt, I think. So for those of us that get really nervous, or maybe we're just not that experienced, and we don't always make perfect contact on a slope like this, your hybrid is another option in a shot like this. So let's hit one of those. It's going to basically be a putting stroke, just like the 8-iron. I'm going to have my weight forward, just like on every other short game shot. And I'm going to use the maximum speed of the ball coming off of a hybrid face to help me get up this hill and help get it closer to the pin. So you see, the faster I got the ball on the ground, the faster I got it rolling, the easier it was to get it up to the pin and make solid contact. So if you use these few tips, I think it'll help you hit a few more pars and lower that score. Hope you have a great day, and we hope to see you out at the Cascades soon.